Hi, everybody. We are studying tonight Daf Pe Gimel. We are continuing the theme of Avodah Zarah, and of course, everybody knows Avodah Zarah is prohibited. But what we're talking about is not only is it prohibited to have and to use, but also that it causes tum'ah. That someone who comes into contact with an item of Avodah Zarah will become tameh, and other items also that it comes into contact with will become tameh, which is a chidush, and we'll see more about it. What we saw yesterday is that there's a machloket between the Rabbanan and Rabbi Akiva about the level of tumah of idolatry. How does it make something tameh? According to Rabbanan, it's compared to sheretz. Sheretz is the lowest level. That's only by touching. According to Rabbi Akiva, it's compared to nida, which nida can cause something to be tameh by touching, carrying, and also by a heavy stone. If she or something that's tameh by her is on top of a heavy stone, then a couch that's under the stone, even if it's not touching, it's propped up, will still be tameh. So that's the machloket. And we saw this machloket between the Rabbanan and Rabbi Akiva, where Rabbi Akiva is more machmir, is itself subject to a controversy of interpretation between Rabbah and Rabbi El-Azar. It is in fact Rabbi El-Azar ben Pedat, second generation Amorah. Could not be Rabbi Eliezer because there is no Amorah named Rabbi Eliezer. So Rabbah is the more mahmir, and saying that we know what, we take the nida comparison very seriously, and so Rabbi Akiva says Avodah Zarah is just like nida in the sense that it becomes tameh by touching and carrying and suspended stone. And even the Rabbanans think it's somewhere in the middle. It's tameh by touching and carrying, but not by suspended stone. And then he deals with all the pisukim and the comparisons and how to account for each one. The Be'el Azad, on the other hand, says no. According to the rabbis, it's really much more like sheretz, and that's only by touching, not by anything else. And Rabbi Akiva says it's somewhere in the middle, touching and carrying, but not suspended stone. All right, so we have that machloket down, and now we're going to bring two challenges and a further clarification of related issues until we get to the next Mishnah, which is about a boat, and we'll discuss the boats a little as well. Good. So we start with our first question. Metibe, Avodah Zarah kesheretz, u'mishamesheha kesheretz. Rabbi Akiva omer Avodah Zarah kenida, u'mishamesheha kesheretz. So this, according to this baraita, it's a parallel to the Mishnah, says idolatry is like sheretz. So there you go. It seems pretty clear that this would be more like Rabbi Elazar, who makes the comparison to sheretz explicit, emphasizes it. And the other items you used, the frying pan or whatever that you use with it is also mitameh like sheretz, only by touching. Whereas Rebbe Kiva is more machmir and says it's like a nida. Now, Bishma lama l'Rebbe Elazar nicha ela l'Rabbah kashya. How could Rabbah say that according to the rabbis it's more than like a sheretz? It's also by carrying. Amalach Rabbah. Mi alima mi matnitin. Hold on, is the Baraita any stronger than the Mishnah? In the Mishnah, we said the wall and everything in it is like sheretz. Yet we didn't take that literally, that it's only like sheretz. Okimna, we made it okimta, and we said that means my kesheretz de lo metameh be'eben mesama. We said it is like sheretz for some, in the sense that the suspended stone doesn't apply to it. And so too here, although it says kesheretz, we'll use the same response. It's not any harder to reinterpret a baraita than it is to reinterpret a mishnah. So the comparison here to sheretz, Rabbah would say, is only in the sense that it's a little bit more mekel than nida. It's like nida for everything, except it's like sheretz in that you don't get that highest level of the suspended stone. All right, so he's able to resolve that question. The next one's a bit more involved. Metive nochri v'nochrit. This is saying that a non-Jew, male and female, they themselves, if they are idol worshippers, avodah zarah, and the idol itself, Umishamesheha, and the other utensils that are used for idolatry, hen velo hesetan, they cause impurity. In other words, by touching. Heset means not carrying, but not by carrying. That if you would carry these items, it would be okay. That's the first opinion, the Rabbanan. Rabbi Akiva omer hen vehesetan.
I think you cut out.
And they by touching and by carrying. What? Elazar, Ela le Kashya. But this is a question according to Rabbah, because once again here it says not according to the rabbis, it's not mitameh by carrying. It says quite explicitly not carrying, and Rabbah thought that according to Rabbanan, idolatry is mitameh by carrying. So this seems to contradict Rabbah's opinion. Amalach Rabbah v'lita'amich. He answers a question with another question. He says, how would you explain? How would anybody explain this? Nochri v'nochrit. Name hen velo hesetan. How about this baraita introduced two new factors: the people themselves, the idolaters themselves. So how about for them? Are you going to say that they cause tum'ah by touching, but not by carrying? Right? Is that how you're saying it? Hen velo hesetan. But that can't be, because we have a baraita, and my policy is that baraitot should be in bold. So I have to make this one bold. It says, "Vatanya daber el bnei Israel, vegomer bnei Israel metamein beziva, ve'nochrin metamein beziva. Aval gazru alehen shihu kezabin v'chol dibrehen." The pasuk, this is pasuk as Vayikra Tetvav, which introduces all the laws of zav and zava and nida, and it starts off and says, "Tell these laws to bnei Israel." And we learned from that a Jew can become tameh as a zav or zava, but non-Jews, this category does not apply to them. Even if they see in a mission, they are not considered zav and zava. However, the rabbis came along and they made a gezerah that idolaters should be treated like a zav for all matters. In other words, the rabbis wanted the Jews to keep away from idolaters and not marry them and not socialize with them. And therefore, if you say they're tameh, right, then even people who might get, who might fall in love and intermarry or something, but if they say it's tameh, then they're not going to go out with them on a date because they don't want to become tameh. Which is very interesting. It shows you that people were still following the laws of Tumah and Tahara, even after the Bet HaMikdash was destroyed, and you technically didn't have to keep them in order to come to the Bet HaMikdash. People were still keeping them, and that people were very diligent and punctilious in the laws of Tumah, and so the rabbis were able to use that diligence to keep them away from other things that they wanted them to keep away from.
Was it that, or was it the power of taboo?
That's what I was saying.
I said it better. You cut out.
I said it more delicately.
Okay,
well, Rabbah's point is that that this baraita cannot be interpreted according to anybody at face value, because this other baraita said nochri and nochrit are like zava, are like zavim, and a zav does cause impurity through carrying. And so when it says hen velo hesetan, this can't be quite right. So there must be something wrong about the wording of this baraita, and we're going to have to reread it in any case, right? Everyone's going to have to reread it. And so here's how he will mitaretz. The teretz, we say, is to answer, but it's also to fix the proper wording. Ela Rabbah mitaretz leta'ameh. He can read it according to his understanding, his view, as follows: Nochri v'nochrit hen vehesetan. So you have to move around some words and add in some other words. So nochri, the people themselves, they are tameh, and their carrying is tameh. Whatever they carry is tameh. Ve'even misamas shelahen. And furthermore, like a zav, the stone, the suspended stone, also they cause tumah through that. Avodah zarah, the idol, he ve'seta avalo even mesama. Okay, so it itself causes tuma and carrying, but not even misama. That was the opinion of the Rabbanan according to Rabbah. Rabbi Akiva omer avodah zara hi veheseta ve'even misama shela. They think that not only the people themselves, but also the idol gets all three levels. Okay, good. So he's adding in those words, and so he makes it fit. Rabbi Elazar all right, once you're adding in words, they agree that the people, the idolaters, are like Zavim and therefore have all three levels. Avodah Zarah, Avodah Zarah, only it itself, the idol, through touching, but not through carrying. That's the opinion of Rabbanan, according to the Bi'alazar. Rabbi Akiva omer avodah zarah hi veheseta, and according to the Rabbi Akiva, is more machmir, the idol, it itself, through touching and also through carrying. And so, okay, it's not hard to put it together with this baraita once you're moving the words around. Now, Rav Asher has a question about both of these. Matkifla Rav Asher, my hen. This doesn't fit with the wording. I know you added in words, but still it has to make some sense. And the word hen over here comes to tell you these things, hen, velo hesetan, these and not something else. The word hen is coming to add something, some kind of contrast. And if you're going to, especially question to Rabbah, if you're going to say, hen vehesetan, that also according to Bialazad, hen vehesetan, then no reason to say hen, just say hesetan. So it has to add something. So Rav Asher has a different hen, she'esitu et acherim, ben acherim she'esitu otan temeim. He's adding another factor here. These idol worshippers, whether they carry something, they cause that thing to be tameh, or whether something carries them. Right? You go pick up an idolater and carry him around, then the carrier also becomes tameh. It works both ways. Avodah zarah she'esita acherim tehorin. However, idolatry is a lesser level. If an idol comes and picks something up, then it is tahor. However, if someone picks up an idol, then they become tameh through carrying. If you're thinking to yourself, how can an idol pick something up? Good question. Hold on. Meshamesheha, the utensils, ben hen she'esitu et acherim, or ben acherim she'esitu otan tehorim. But the utensils have nothing to do with carrying. Whether they carry something or you carry a utensil, they do not transfer tumah. That's the opinion of Rabbanan. Rabbi Akiva is more machmir. He says, "Nochri v'nochrit avodah zarah ben hen she'esitu acherim, ben acherim she'esitu otan temein." All right, both the idol worshippers and the idol transfer both ways, through carrying or by being carried. But the utensils, ben hen she'esitu acherim, ben acherim she'esitu otan tehorin, and that he agrees with Rabbanan that the utensils do not transfer through carrying. Okay, so that's how Rav Asher resolves the word hen, that you can say these in order to emphasize these two cases of carrying and being carried. Now, the question that I told you to think about, Avodah zarah bishlam acherim she'esitu ota mashkachat la. I understand idols that someone else can be carrying an idol. So if you carry an idol, you can carry it without touching it. If you carry it on a tray or something, right? And then the tumah transfers to the person. But how can an idol come and pick up something? What kind of case would that be? Amar Rameh Bered Rav Yiba Ibo Kiditnan. We can explain it according to this following Mishnah. Hazav bechaf mosnaim bochalim mishkalin bechaf sheniya kara hazav temein karohen tehorin. If you have a giant balance scale and you put a person who's a zav, who had a, if the zav is heavier, then the food becomes tameh. The other way around, it's tahor. So the point is, here's a way that you can have a zav carrying something indirectly, and so by analogy, you can imagine taking an idol and putting it on one side of a balance scale, and if he's heavier, a seesaw, right, then in effect the idol is carrying the food, and that would cause the food to become tameh. And there you go, there we have a case, which of course reminds me of the Monty Python scene when they're trying to see if someone is a witch, and so they put her on a huge balance scale to see if she's heavier than a piece of wood, because okay, you have to see it. Keman azla ha detanya. So one more question about in this regard. This baraita, who will it follow? Says kol hatumot hamisitot tehorot chutz meseto shel zav shelo masinu lo chaver bechol haTorah kula. We have a baraita that says anything that's tameh, that carries something, is tahor. In other words, any tameh person or anything that carries something, it's okay, except for zav. If a zav carries something, he causes it to be tameh. And because the zav is exceptional, right? Only it's a special law regarding zav. Now, who can be the author of this? Since we just saw that according to everybody, in some case or another, idolatry causes tum'ah by carrying. And so, right, who would be the author of this? Lema de lo be el akiba. Akiba ikaname avodah zarah. Actually, it could be like Rabbanan, because they don't think that an idol carrying something is a problem. But Rabbi Akiba, we saw just now, he says that an idol carrying something does transfer tumah. So we have this baraita that says only zav, but Rabbi Akiba says also an idol. So this is a contradiction. No, afilu tema Rabbi Akiba tana zav. This baraita, although it mentions only zav, he means a zav and anything that's compared to a zav. And so since an idol is comparable to a zav, an idol will be included in the category of zav. The baraita didn't mean only zav in particular. Okay, a couple of more questions and clarifications regarding these laws. Rav Hama bar Guria, avodah zarah yeshna le'ebarim o ena le'ebarim. If you have an idol and its arm fell off, does the arm that fell off cause impurity or not? We saw this question quoted a couple of times yesterday, and in fact, they were quoting it from here. So you see that this question is earlier than those sugyot that refer to it. Okay, so we try to answer it. Actually, we'll try to answer it, but we're going to reframe it in two different ways. Well, what kind of idol is it? Is it an easy to build yourself idol, and you could just take the arm and stick it on like a Lego idol? If anyone could do it, a hejot is a Greek word. It's the source of our word idiot. It means a non-professional, an amateur. If an amateur can put it on, then we don't have to ask a question. The kiman de mechubedet ame, because it's as if it's on. It fell off. You just snap it right back on. So therefore, that arm, even by itself, would cause tum'ah. So that Rabbi Chama is not asking about that question. No, if you need a professional welder to come and do it, that's what we're talking about. You might say on the one hand that since a regular person cannot put it back, then it's broken, right? It's like it's not part of it anymore. And so therefore, once something is broken, it loses its status, its name of idolatry. And therefore, it would not cause impurity. Do we say that? Or dilma ha lo mehasera? Or do we say no? It's not lacking anything, and so it's still an idol. So what? So it's a handicap idol. You shouldn't we shouldn't look down upon handicapped beings, and so what? So we'll still consider it. Okay, that's one side. Or you can ask it the other way around. If you need a professional and a regular person, an amateur cannot fix it, then for sure it's considered broken. Right? It's just a broken idol. The whole question is, if a regular person can put it back together, do you say that if, since an amateur can put it together, it's as if it's put together, and therefore even the arm alone will cause tumah? Or do you say right now it's not connected, so therefore it's nothing? And so we leave the question in doubt. We have a double doubt. First of all, what was the question itself, and how would we resolve it either way? Okay, but you see that the point of the asking the question in both of these ways is to explore all of the different multiple possibilities. And I imagine in the Bet Midrash they would sit and offer arguments, lots of arguments for both ways, and the Talmud is only recording the question and the basic sides. Okay, and last clarification here. Ba'eh Rav Achdevoy bar Ameh Avodah Zarah Pechota Mekezait Mahu. What is the minimum shi'or for Avodah Zarah? This is not for carrying, because that's a different story. We're going to get to that in a later perek. But we'll see. So we'll see what it's for. Matkif la Rav Yosef. Lemai. What are you asking about? In which realm of halacha? Ilema le'anyan isura. Lo ye'ela zevuv ba'al ekron. Titanya. If you're talking about a tiny idol, then is it okay to worship it? No, it's not. Titanya. V'asimu lahem ba'al berit le'elohim. Ze zevuv ba'al ekron. Melamed shekol echad ve'echad asa demut yir'ato umanicha betoch kiso kevan shezochra מוציאה מתוך כיסו, מחבקה ומנשקה. So this pasuk is from Shofetim. Says, when Gidon died, then the people went, they forgot God, and they vayiznu acharei Baalim, and they went after Baal, and everybody made for themselves Baal Berit leElokim. Sorry, leElohim. It's not the holy God. And so what kind of idols did they make? They made these Baal Zevuv, the Lord of the Flies, right? So they made these little ones, like fly size, and they kept it in their pocket. And whenever they would think of it, they would take it out, and they would hug it and kiss it. And so you see, even though it's a very tiny idol, they're still considered idolatry. So it can't be about the size. Any size idol is prohibited. So rather, this whole thing is talking about tumah. Ela linyan tumah mai. What is the minimum size for an idol to cause tumah if it touches or if you carry it? Kevan di'itkish lesheretz. Ma sheretz bechadasha. Af avodah zara nameg bechadasha. Should we compare it to a sheretz, to a dead mouse? The amount of a dead rodent would be a lentil size, pretty small, but still bigger than nothing. And so should we say also Avodah Zarah is like that? And so if it's smaller than a lentil-sized piece of an idol, then it would not cause tumah. Or dilmahit kash lemet. Ma met bekezait af Avodah Zarah name bekezait. We also compare it to a corpse, and a corpse is only, a piece of a corpse is only causes tumah if it's the size of an olive. And so perhaps it should also be like an olive. Amar Rab Avya, v'item Rabba bar Ola tashema. Tetanya avodah zarah pechota mikezait and ba tum'ah kol ikar. Okay, if he has explicit baraita that says idolatry, that if it's less than an olive size, then you don't have to worry about it causing tum'ah. Shene'emar vayashlech el et afara el keber bnei am. Right, the pasuk in Melachim, that's talking about Yoshiyah when he is purifying the Bet HaMikdash. He takes out the Asherah idols that were in there, and he takes them out to the valley of Kidron, and he burns them, and he smashes them up into dust, and he throws the dust over over the cemeteries. The point is that that's how you defile idolatry, by putting it in a cemetery. And so you see that it compares idolatry to corpse impurity. And so therefore, anything under a kezait would be okay, would not cause tumah, just like idolatry. Okay, good. So we resolved that question. V'Rabbanan lemay hilcheta itkash l'sheretz delo metame b'masa. Now, back up there between the Rabbi Akiva and Rabbanan, we asked a lot of questions. According to Rabbanan, why is it compared to sheretz? To tell you that it doesn't to be mekel, that it's not if you carry avodah zarah, it's okay, right? So that's why it's compared to sheretz, to show you that it's mekel. And why was it compared to nida? To show you the enale ebarav, that a limb of an idol does not cause tumah, just like a limb of a nida does not cause tumah. And why do we compare it to met? Like we just said, that it should not cause tumah if it's only a lentil size. Anything under we judge all of them likula, for leniency. Why don't we take each of those and say it's like that for chumrah? We could say it's more like sheretz, that it's machmir, even a lentil size. I mean, each of it's like nida, that you can't even carry it, even suspended stone. Each of these comparisons are ambiguous. So the sheres, the tamuye bechadasha, the nida, the tamuye be'even mesama. Right, so you can take all these things and say idolatry was as small as a lentil. It would be couldn't be carrying it, and you can say that it's even metameh be'ohel, just like a corpse makes everything in a tent tameh. So you could say the same thing. We could make a lot of chumrot. Why don't we do that? Tumat avodah zarah derabanan hi, v'kula v'chumra v'kula makshinan v'chumra la makshinan. Since this whole concept of avodah zarah causing impurity is all midrabanan, Torah doesn't say anything about this. The rabbis came and wanted the people to stay far away from idol worshippers, not only, but also idolatry. And if you just say idolatry is not allowed, I don't know, people, they might find their way there, carried around and whatever, and they think they won't do it, and they end up getting sucked in and they do it. So they said, the rabbis are the ones that made this gezerah and said anything that's idolatrous, the idol itself, causes tum'ah. However, since it is midrabanan, the general principle is that in rabbinic laws, we tend to be mekel in our comparisons and interpretations. And so, it's enough that we even are making this gezerah. We have to further be machmir so much on these comparisons. Okay, and that's the end of the discussion of the Mishnah regarding idolatry. Our next Mishnah is talking about a boat. Minayin lasfina shehi tehora, shene'emar derech oniya beleb yam. A boat can never become tameh, no matter what, right? Even if you transport a corpse on it, even if a zav comes and sits on it, right? Anything you do, the boat is always tahor. How do you know? Because there's a pasuk in Mishleh that says, we'll look at the pasuk in Mishleh. There. Yeah, this is all, by the way, going on, here it is. Various items that we saw the previous Mishnah also learned something from a pasuk in Nevi'im, and this time it's a pasuk in Ketubim. Someone recently wrote their dissertation on this subject of why the rabbis sometimes compare laws to derive laws from Nevi'im and Ketubim. It's rare, it's the exception, but why do they do it? And it seems that at least in the previous case, it was not actually to derive the halacha, but rather to derive a realia. What are pot shards used for? Remember that? And we can learn from the pasuk what they happen to be used for. And so here too, we're just like looking, what is the way of boats? And so it's not actually deriving the halacha. We know the halacha, but the verse is coming to teach not the halacha, but something about the nature of boats. And so that's that would not be authoritative. It's authoritative in terms that we trust that it's true regarding the reality, but we're not using the authority of Nevi'im Ketuvim to legislate law. Okay. Anyway, the pasuk itself says, "Derech hanesher bashamayim," the way of the eagle in the sky. Derech nachash alei sur, the way of the snake over rock. Derech oniyah beleb yam, the way of boats in the heart of the sea. V'derech geber be'alma, and the way of a man with a maiden. Okay, so it's comparing these various things, how wondrous they are. And so I guess it's pretty amazing that a boat can stay and float on the water, and that they know how to navigate. There's like no signs or anything. There's no ways. They just have to know where to go. And so that's pretty amazing. So that's the point of the pasuk. But since in the pasuk it is talking about the way of the boat is to be in the heart of the water. And so therefore, just like water by definition is a mikveh and can never become tameh, so too a boat is always in the water and therefore is part of it and can never become tameh. So that's the Mishnah. The Talmud will analyze this derasha. Pishita on the Abeleb Yamhi. Of course, everybody knows that boats are in water. What's this pasuk coming to teach us? What? Now you're telling me a boat is in water? Thank you very much. Hakamash malan kayam. Mayam tahor av sefina tehora. Oh, it's comparing them, and a boat is like water, just like a boat, water is tahor. So too a sefina is tahor. All right. However, there's another possible derivation regarding boats. Tanya, Hananya Omer, Nilmeda misak, ma sak mitaltel male verekan, afkol mitaltel male verekan. Lafuke sefina teena mitaltelet male verekan. Okay, we know we can actually learn it a different way. We don't need any pasukim. It's a general pasuk. The pasuk is actually down here. When it says, these are the things that are tameh with a sheretz, and then anything that it falls upon when the sheretz is dead, it also becomes tameh, and it mentions a few items. Etz, anything made out of wood. Boats are made out of wood, right? Or beged, or or. Okay, those are not relevant for us. Or sak, or a sack, a bag. Kol keli, anything that is a utensil that comes, and so on. Afterwards, it talks about kli cheres, but that's in a separate pasuk. So what the rabbis derive from here is that there's a comparison. Why mention these specific examples? There's a comparison between them. A sack is something that is not only a utensil, but a container. You put things in it, and you can carry them around. So too, in order for something that's wood, made out of wood, to become tameh, it has to be a container. It has to be able to hold water. Just a flat board will not become tameh. So now with that, we can go back up here and see, right? What he's saying is that we learn it from sak. Just like a sack is something that is transportable, as opposed to something that's like attached to the ground or something giant, and it can be carried both full and empty. It's meant to be carried around. You take it to the store, you fill it up, and then you use it to transport your stuff back home. So to anything made out of other material like wood, also only if it's carried empty and full, that you use it as a container to carry things, and not a boat. Because a boat is really hard to carry. Maybe you need to carry it when you're building it and you got to put it in the water, or you take it back to the dock, but you don't use the boat as a container for carrying other things. That's not a good use of a boat. And therefore, boats are tahor because they are not containers. Okay, my benaihu, what would be the practical difference between these two reasons, derivations? Ika benaihu sefina shel cheres. What if I made a boat out of clay? Clay does not have that law that it has to be a container. Clay, even in other shapes, will become tameh. According to the first derivation, a boat made out of clay is still in the water as compared to the water, so therefore will always be tahor. למאן דאמר כסק, הנח דכתיב כבי שק די מטלטלת מלא ורקן אין אילה לה, אבל ספינה של חרס, אף אגב דאינה מטלטלת מלא ורקן. These, something made out of wood, that has the law that it has to be a container and carry things, both full and empty. But if it's made out of cheres, doesn't have that law, and so it would be tameh no matter what. So according to this reason, it will be tameh. According to this reason, it will be tahor. Inameh, or another difference between these two derivations, sifinat hayarden. It will be a sifina, a boat that goes in the Jordan River. Jordan River is pretty small. You don't need a very big boat, just a little ferry. Leman damad ena beleb yamhi, ena beleb yamhi, hanameh ena beleb yamhi. According to the one who says, oniyah, I read it wrong. One who says a boat goes in the way of the water. This also oniyah belev yam. Although it's also a small ferry, it also goes in the water, and so these Jordan ferries would also be tahor according to the first derivation. Leman damar mitaltelet, according to the one who says mitaltelet melev rekan, haname mitaltelet melev rekan. These small ferry boats of the Jordan, they are carried both empty and full. And how do we know? Because Amar Rabbi Hanina ben Akabia, mipnei ma amru sefinat Yarden temea, mipnei shetoanim otam beyabasha, umoridin otan lamayim. Why do we rule that the ferry boats of the Jordan River are tameh, which is unusual, unlike any other boats? Because people would fill them up on the dry land, put all their stuff in them, and then carry them to the water, and then ferry them across and carry the whole boat out. So these boats were small and were designed for transporting items by carrying the boat. And so therefore, according to the first reason, they're still in the water, so they're still tahor. But according to the second reason, they would be tameh because they don't act like other boats. Okay, and we have just 3 more statements about learning Torah in general. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rav le'olam al yimena adam at asmo mebet midrash v'afilu sha'achat. A person should never prevent himself from going to the Bet Midrash, not even, right? You should always be in the Bet Midrash because there's always a chidush. שהרי כמה שנים נשנית משנה זו בבית המדרש ולא נתקלה טעמה עד שבא רבי חנניה בן עקביה ופרשה. This law that the Jordan ferry boats are tameh, we learned this many times. Every time it came up in the curriculum, we learned it, but we never knew the reason why. And all of a sudden this year, Rabbi Hanina was there, and he gave us the reason. That is because it's carried both full and empty. And so, you see, you never know what you might learn in the Bet Midrash. So always go. I would say the same thing about Daf Yomi, right? It's an adventure every day. You never know what's gonna come. Never know what you're going to learn. Amar Rabbi Yohanatan, le'olam al yimna adam et asmo mibet midrash u'midivrei Torah ve'afilu b'sha'at mitah. You should always go to the Bet Midrash and always be learning Torah, even at the time of one's death. שנאמר זאת התורה אדם כי ימות באוהל. The context is these are the laws about corpse impurity that they apply in a tent, but the rabbis make a derasha afilu b'shat mitah teheh osek b'torah. Don't give up. Don't say, I only have a little time left. Why should I bother studying Torah? Study till the end. Amar Resh Lakish, and divrei Torah mitkayimim אלא במי שממית עצמו עליה, שנאמר, זאת התורה, אדם כי ימות באוהל. Torah will not be established, will not be fulfilled, except for someone who kills himself over it. In other words, who toils day and night and doesn't rest, but makes it his business and makes it his life work to study it, because of that same pasuk, one who dies be'ohel. You can only have the merit to be in the ohel, in the study house of Torah, if you're willing to sacrifice for it. And so I think those who commit themselves to Daf Yomi are certainly candidates for those who don't sit in comfort, but who take the extra step and devote themselves to the daily and regular study of Torah. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.